Greetings sailors and welcome back to World of Warships, and today I'm going to look at the Scharnhorst 1943, which is basically a copy-paste of the existing Scharnhorst, and also, along with the Scharnhorst B, means that there are now 3 Scharnhorsts in the game. This is not necessarily a bad thing though. This is one that pretty much everyone can get for free with not even that much grinding. It's what, level 10 of the winter battle pass, whatever you want to call it, and yeah, it's not that hard to get to. So yeah, it is basically a copy-paste Scharnhorst, but there are a couple of minor differences and one major difference, and the major difference I'll point out right now: it gets a speed boost, which obviously no other German battleship does. Does that count as a major difference? Well, it's big enough. It's a big enough difference. So to point out the other differences, I'm actually going to go and look at one of those comparison sites so you can see the numbers for yourself. So here we are. This is the WoW's ship builder website, and as you can see, I've got Scharnhorst and Scharnhorst 43 lined up against each other. We've got the same build for each of them. 18-point captain, secondary focused, so we're sort of comparing the same thing. I've actually got my regular Scharnhorst, just kind of standard battleship build, and my Scharnhorst B set up for secondaries. But the reason why I particularly have gone for the secondary focus build is because that is one of the differences. Now, in terms of the main battery, you're actually worse off because you have a kilometre less range and you have a slower rate of fire. And it's still pretty fast for a battleship, but it's enough that you might maybe feel the difference. It does affect your overall damage output. Obviously, there's no difference in the shells, like high explosive, fire chance, everything else is literally the same. It's just your range is a little bit less, although that's still pretty good range for tier 7, and you do also still have the ability to put in a oh, you don't have a catapult. I think you do have a catapult for the... Okay, there's the thing. Yeah, there you go. You get the option on the Scharnhorst, but you don't get the option on the Scharnhorst 43. So there's a thing I didn't notice until right this second. You don't get a spotter plane on Scharnhorst 43. So yeah, you can't actually extend that. But that's still like just shy of 19 kilometers. That still feels like a pretty decent range for a tier 7 battleship. Torpedoes. That's another difference. Again, not a huge one. It's already a pretty quick reload of 68 seconds on the Scharnhorst. Scharnhorst 43 gets a 45-second reload. So if you're in a sort of close quarter situation, yeah, you get the torps back that bit quicker. Although 45 seconds is still a fairly long time if you're within torpedo range of an enemy ship, because they are the same 6-kilometer range. This isn't like Leipzig versus the Nuremberg or whatever, where Leipzig has got the really long range torps. In fact, I think it's the only German cruiser that's got like 10-kilometer torpedoes, but they're also really quite slow. So yeah, it's just the reload that's different there. And then we come on to why I've been talking about secondary batteries, is that it is actually faster reloading on its all of its secondaries. So as you can see there, and it sort of gives you an increase in fires per minute as well in that that calculated stat. Yeah, it's actually like not even whole seconds, but some of these are already fairly fast firing guns, but it's almost like, that's not quite a whole second, but it's fast enough that if you want to build this to have a more secondary focus, then you're going to get a little more reward out of it than you will with the regular Scharnhorst. And because, of course, they're German secondaries, you don't need IFHE. So that's it. Literally everything else is identical. It is a variation on the existing Scharnhorst, and in some ways it's only really a slight variation. It's a slightly more secondary focused, brawly focused version, but you've got the same amount of hit points. The armor is the same, so yeah, you don't get any more survivability. It's just your secondary firepower output is a bit more at the cost of your main firepower. and I mean, I guess the speed boost means you can get towards the enemies quicker, so that sort of counts towards that general feeling as well. Anyway, let's go into a battle and see how we perform. Well, it's given us a top tier game, which is nice, and that means I might actually be able to get in secondary range and not have to worry too much about being obliterated by higher tier enemies. I kind of find it a little strange they took this more secondary focused concept and did it with the Scharnhorst. I mean, I'm guessing the Scharnhorst because, okay, they didn't necessarily want to give away like a tier 8 premium, for example. But yeah, tier 7 you've still got that fore and aft overmatch thing going on, so it's a slightly more limited thing at tier 7. If you only care about operations, of course, you know, having better secondaries is not a bad thing, but yeah, it feels a little like I said, I don't think this is anything majorly different from the regular Scharnhorst. It really isn't. It's just one that you can get for free. If they really wanted to lean into that secondaries, they maybe could have put that out to, say, 10 kilometers, maybe 10 and a half. 10 and a half might be pushing it a bit, but yeah, that would have given you maybe a little more leeway. Or I don't even know what that was. I don't know if my microphone picked that up, but something went clonk in the other room. Probably a cat. I'm cat sitting at the moment. I'm looking after my stepbrother's cat while they're away. So I have 2 tuxedo cats in the house, and they don't really get along very well. So we could speed boost here, but yeah, I don't know if there's much point in doing it at the moment. But that could have been interesting. Anyway, have a more like have a boosted secondary range, and it still wouldn't make it as good as tier 8s, which generally sort of 11.5. Isn't there one that gets to 12, or am I making that up? Is that only tier 9 you get to sort of 12 kilometers? But anyway, they sort of went 3/4 of the way in making it more secondary focused, and then didn't really go whole hog. But yeah, I think I was going to say before the clonk happened that another thing they could have done if they wanted to make this more sort of secondary focused is perhaps give you the option instead of, well, maybe as an actual option, you know, choose between engine boost or hydro, and give you a sort of baby Bismarck in terms of being able to go in and hydro things and have your secondaries be useful. So I don't know, that could have been another option, but they didn't quite go all in as much as they could have, considering what they were clearly trying to do. So there we go, first hit, not anything super special. 23 seconds is still a fairly fast reload for a battleship. Let's see if we can hit the Bayern next. You still have those relatively fast German AP shell velocities, which is quite nice. See if we do any... no, not really. Right, so that Nicholas is just outside of secondary range, also starting to get focused a little bit. But the Nicholas is headed away, it means I don't think we'll actually get there. I could pop the speed boost to sort of try and get in range a bit faster, but is that going to be a bit of a waste, maybe? Oh, London, I'm not trying to block you off here, but I'm guessing you weren't quite having your focus entirely on if you were turning into somebody. Right, let's see if we do a bit better with this. A little bit better, yeah, that was okay. I'm definitely not opposed to Wargaming having done this for what is essentially a freebie tier 7 premium. Like that's kind of generous of them, all things considered. And yeah, it's like I'd rather they did it the way round they have, rather than make the other copy paste that we have, the stored 43. Which I haven't even looked up the comparison, but the stored didn't really stand out for me. So yeah, they've they've put that behind the premium track, as it were, of the holiday battle pass. So yeah, it's probably going to be less interesting to most people than having this to play, and certainly this is going to be much more useful if you just want to grind some credits in Ops, for example. But in this specific instance, it's like, it's okay, it's fine. But on the whole, it's I kind of wonder if we're going to get more into copy-paste premiums as a thing. When there's substantive differences, then it's fine if it's two ships that are in sort of radically different states, like West Virginia 41 and West Virginia 44, which are, like, you want to talk about secondary focused battleships. That one I think gets the same improved accuracy as like Massachusetts and the rest. So yeah, that one is definitely substantively different. Right, this carrier's being a bit annoying, but never mind. What can we do? Well, we're going to put a fighter, I suppose. Right, hello Rio. Kind of need someone else to get in the cap, because I'm not getting this cap. This guy's just getting all the decap points. Maybe I should do a video on that as well, actually, of the tickets, what I got to exchange for the big presents. One of them actually contained the West Virginia 44, which I hadn't owned up till that point. I got the Leipzig, and I got something else. I can't remember what it was. Certainly doing better off in Warships than I am in World of Tanks, to be honest. World of Tanks, I got. I think they, if you get like 12 days of the Advent calendar stuff, it's mainly like tank equipment and like crew training books and things. The one premium tank I got was like, here's a tier 4, was it even a tier 4? I think it might have been like a tier 3. Here's a tier 3 light tank that I'm never going to play. It's like, okay. So yeah, for all that we like to complain about warships sometimes, I still think they're doing a lot of things right overall. Even in comparison to its much longer established sibling, I guess. I mean, I think I talked about this a little bit during the tanks video I did, where I was like, well, there's some changes they've made, and they're good changes, but man, there's still a lot of things that I just find deeply, deeply irksome. Like, oh, hello, Ranger. Like premium ammo, for example, which I'd forgotten how irksome that's been a long time irritation, is their refusal to really change or moderate or do anything different when it comes to premium ammo. And they're just quite content to put game balance to one side. Like, that's one of the things I've always preferred about War Thunder, is it actually requires some knowledge of ammo types and not just like, oh, I'm going to press this key here and win. Of course, War Thunder's got plenty of its own problems, but an actual acknowledgement that yes, there are different ammo types, and yes, they do different things, is definitely something I consider a positive about that game. But Wargaming was like, nah, we don't want to make people have to use their brains, and just decided that they were going to go with the rather bog standard thing of the least amount of choice possible, and yeah, just make some kinds of ammo and I win button. Screw your armor button, whatever you want to call it. Right, this I've been a bit busy blathering here. Man, if I was going to make my perfect, you know, tanks game, it would definitely be a mix of both War Thunder and Warships things. Neither of them gets it right. War Thunder certainly doesn't get it right when it comes to the economy side of things. Hello, carrier. Yes, right. Did he put out torps already? He did, I think. Right. I mean, Australia's probably going to be manoeuvring too much for my torpedoes to really do much there, but yeah. We're kind of down on points, but there's not that many of them left, and oh, there's the Nicholas. So here's where the faster firing pew-pews secondaries potentially does come in useful. Come on, finish off the Australia. Someone else finish off the Minsk, please. Right, one hit. We actually might... No! He killed the... Okay, never mind. Come on, someone kill the Minsk. Anyone? My secondary's getting before he disappears. So I had better use a heal there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. One hit's all that's needed, maybe. There we go. Oh, that's a Kraken. Well, this is literally the first time I play this. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the Scharnhorst, so it's not like I have no idea what I'm doing. But when you're top tier, I mean, it's the same with the Scharnhorst, same with the Gneiss now. You can actually throw it around way more than you could otherwise. Right, the question is, where is their enemy remaining Scharnhorst, and what health are they at? Like the Nicholas, obviously very low health, so that's fine. And I've actually got a fair amount of health I can get back, so that's fine. And we just need to get a cap. Right, Scharnhorst 43. I don't know what health you're at. Well, there's the Nicholas. Let's switch back to AP shells. Get in the cap. Oh, the Scharnhorst is really healthy still. Excellent. Okay. So we can afford to just... I don't know what health our Gneiss now's at, but yeah, we can afford to just sit pretty and get this cap. Nice, there goes the Nicholas. And have our heal come back so I can get hit points back as well. So I think we're going to win this. The fact that we were able to basically charge in and charge around that corner and black their destroyers. I was surprised I was the one to get the Rio de Janeiro, to be quite honest. Right, Scharnhorst is going to come up very, very soon. My own Scharnhorst is not going to quite yet be in spotting range, but they're trying to fire it where they are anyway, which is fine. Eisenhower is absorbing all of the carrier's attention. Right, you are fairly healthy. It's also not really looking my way. Let's put some torpedoes out. So with adrenaline rush, it's like a 40-second reload at the moment. Right, is our Scharnhorst? Oh, Scharnhorst going to be? Oh yeah, I think they are probably going to be. Able to see him at this point. Right, I'm going to put their torps out. Here's where Scharnhorst, regular Scharnhorst, would have something of an advantage. Oh, nice, they can hit. Just with its quicker reload. Let's get the speed boost going for the extra bit of manoeuvrability. Yep, oh, can I wiggle past? Not quite. But I was close to doing it. Downside is I'm now burning and flooding, so I might not survive this manoeuvre. But there we go, he's down. I'm actually only a little bit away from another heal, so I should maybe survive. Maybe. No, I'm not going to. Never mind. We got that Scharnhorst though, 150k damage. And we have actually won this one. It's now just their CV left, which the Gneisenau now is in the process of finishing off. So there we go. That was a pretty good outing. But let's see if the next one is different tiering, because this was very kind matchmaking. It certainly had a heck of a lot to do with getting the Kraken. So there we are. We had Confederates, 2 close quarters, Kraken and high caliber. Pretty good result, I would say. 2500 base XP. This isn't even as good as it could be, because of course if we had what's his face? There we go, Gunther Lutyens. The only thing with Lutyens is I don't have him set up for secondaries. So anytime his secondary skill actually comes in useful is when I'm playing the Graf Zeppelin. So yeah, I would have to respec Lutyens basically. He's just a standard battleship setup. So if like next time we get some kind of freebie captain reset, that's what I'll be doing, is I think respecking him, so I can actually get the benefit for ships or battleships that do have secondaries that are, you know, fun to use, because that's not an uncommon feature of German battleships. So this time we do have tier 9, and there is both a sub and a higher tier carrier, so we're going to have to be a little bit more cautious. We can't be quite so gung-ho, but we still might get to use our secondaries. I guess we'll see. Right, we're finally in range of this Riga. Would have been in range a little quicker with the regular Scharnhorst, of course. So yeah, I think higher tier battles, especially the shorter range and the lack of a spotter, will be a bit more keenly felt. Especially tier 9s, where you can be outranged by sometimes a good couple of kilometres. Right, Lexington's coming in. Let's get a fighter up, see if that does anything. That's submarine torp, so their sub is here somewhere. Where do they look like they're coming from? I don't know, let's just take a guesstimate. See if my fighter latches onto those. So yeah, it's this kind of scenario where actually having a hydro instead of speed boost would probably be more useful and preferable. There you are. Oh. Gung-ho with my mouse wheel there. Nice, Citadel. Negate that. Bing! Still rotate these 2 torps though. Oh, it's only a... Okay, it's only a sturdy, so... the Brits only get the acoustic torps, and they are terrible in terms of damage. They're really not good. I'm not entirely sure what the thought was. Well, I mean, for submarines generally, but, you know, for the British submarines in particular, I'm really not sure what the thought was meant to be. Well, these Lexington planes are going to be a bit of a pain. You're turning broadside, Riga. Let's hope that is painful for you. Nice, another Citadel. Right, I think I'm going to have to back off a bit here. I'm taking a little bit too much focus. See if I can't get unspotted. suspect it's got... Oh, the sub's over there. Okay. I'm not surface spotting me then. I'm not entirely sure. Leon's still just about in range. I might as well fire. I'm being kept surface spotted by something. Okay, here come the aeroplanes again. I think would be more attractive targets than a trio of 3 battleships and a Tier 9 AA, but I don't know, they seem committed to coming to this side apparently. Right, Haider, I guess that's what has been... yeah. How long, by the way, I'm just having a random thought, but how long do you think before we get a destroyer that has acoustic torps? Well, it's going to happen at some point, right? Why have the annoyance only be confined to submarines when you can stick it on a destroyer as well? Why did our DD actually YOLO in there? That seems like it was a little silly. A little bit. How's everyone doing? Lost some health, but not too bad. That's mostly HE damage, so still have a fair bit I can heal back, which is fine. And here come the aeroplanes once again. My fighters have shot down a grand total of 1 plane. Okay, let's go for the Lion. But my fighters should surely still... No, well, they're just orbiting me. That's not close enough to do much of anything. Right, so, oh, that's... who's capping? Sturdy's dead. There's a fair few of them on this flank. I really don't want to push. That would be a bad idea. If we can keep them contained on this flank. Ooh, let's hope that's bad for you. So, I mean, their de Grosser is isolated. The Kagero is, who knows, but last spotted over there somewhere. Oh, it's the Haider. Okay, he went right in. I think I was mistaking Haider torps for submarine torps earlier. Okay, let's actually turn around inside and use this island car. Nice, Haider's down. Good job, fantastic. I mean, we're sort of more or less trading ships equally, except not really. We're now ahead on ships, but yeah, just in terms of cap control and points, this is quite dramatically in our favour. We've had half the team sort of bottled up below the A cap for quite a long time, so yeah, that has of course had a fair effect on the points distribution. They're sort of maybe just now starting to panic and realise their mistake, maybe. I don't think we're going to get much secondary damage out of this one, but at least it's going to be above 0. Well, good job, team. I mean, this has not exactly been the most competitive match, but shows everyone's been sort of gelling together rather well. I don't think I'm going to get another Kraken somehow. My actual damage done is not even that good. but we've been having to far more keep our distance. We haven't been able to charge in the same way that we were in that previous match, which of course does make a difference. Can we get that Ibuki? If you can get an Ibuki, then, you know, it's made of Citadel. The Ibuki is a little painful. That dispersion. So that's the downside of going with a secondary build, is you are paying for it with main battery effectiveness. And games like this, when you're far more relying on your main battery rather than doing stuff with secondaries. Yeah, we only just broke... Oh, there we go. 60k. I say that as we finish with the Citadel. Does that count as a Pitadel? It wasn't killing the Ibuki, but, you know, it was the end of the match, so... Yeah. Still second place on the team somehow, but that was a much more even spread of scores. Their Kagura must have gone AFK. Put a report on that. Yeah, the enemy team was very discombobulated, very disconnected. So that was kind of a one-sided game. But yeah, I mean, I could do another one, but I kind of feel like I'd be dragging it out at that point. It's a Scharnhorst, but it's a free Scharnhorst, and if anything, it is a little more suited to operations, which I know is going to be an important consideration for some people. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'll also do the stored once I actually have unlocked that, but that is... no, that's the dockyard. Too many things with little meters. Right, so there we go. Yeah, it's level 20, so I'm a little ways off that. It's going to take a little while to get to that. So yeah, once I've gotten it, I will cover it, but that won't necessarily be, you know, tomorrow or anything. Anyway, so that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can do all the usual things down underneath it, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.